Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to start with percentages. So we have already covered reminder theorem and averages, where I have covered a lot of practice questions and all the PYQs related to those two topics. So now next couple of videos or maybe 3 videos we will cover percentages. So let us start with the first question. This is a practice question. What I'm going to do in this video is I have selected some good practice questions which will actually help you to cover a lot of your concepts, so that as we move to more difficult questions in the next video and to PYQs, you are very comfortable with that. So this is the first question. A man spends 35% of his income on food, 25% on children's education, and 80% of the remaining. So what you need to remember in percentage related questions is that percentage is given of what value and what base, because sometimes that gets confusing and you may end up with the wrong answer. So see this question carefully. A man spent 35% of his income. So let us assume that his income was 100 rupees, right? Because we have not been given any specific value, and the answer is also asked in percentages. So we can always consider 100 as the income. 35% of his income on food. So out of 100, he spends 35 on food. 25% on children's education. So he spends 25% on education, and 80% of the remaining. So now we have to find the remaining. So 35 plus 25 is 60. So 100 minus 60 is 40 remaining, right? So out of this remaining, he spends 80% on house rent. So 80% of 40. So basically this is 80% of 40 is 32. Right? Now I know that you might have seen a lot of reels etc. for short takes to calculate percentages. So here 0 cancel, 8 for the 32. So 32 he spends on house rent. Okay. So what percentage of his income is left with? So out of 100, he has spent 60 here, 32 here. So 60, 32 is 92, and he is left with 8 rupees. And because our base is 100, that is 8. That's your answer option. Okay, very simple question just to cover the basic concepts of percentage. Let us go to the next question. The student has to obtain 33% of the total marks to pass. He got 125 marks and failed by 40 marks. So the maximum marks are, so we have to find the maximum marks. So we have been given that to pass he has to score 33 out of 100, and that is 33%, and he got 125 marks and failed by 40. So what is the actual passing marks? Passing marks is 125 plus he failed by 40. So he got 125 and failed by 40. So 165 are passing marks. We know that passing marks is basically 33%. Now we have to find 100%, right? So if 33% is equivalent to 165, then 100% is equivalent to 165 into 100 by 30. It's 5. That's your answer, option A, right? Pretty simple. Now you can actually guess this answer. Okay, so you know that 165 is equal to 33%, and 100% is almost close to 3 times of 33. So if you do 3 times of 165, that is 160 into 3 is 480, and this is 15, so 495, right? So 99% is 495, so closest is 500. So that's your answer. If you are good at calculation, then you can do this without doing this last step. Nevertheless, last step is also difficult. There is 500. Let us go to the next question. Gaurav spends 30% of his monthly income on food articles, 40% of remaining. So let us start with same thing as we did in the earlier problem. So he spends out of 100, 30% on food, 40% of remaining. So he is left with 70%. Okay, and 40% of remaining. So 40% of this 70, that is 28%, he spends on conveyance and clothes. and saves 50% of remaining. So now he is 30 plus 28, that is 58 down, and he is left with 42. Out of 100 he has spent 58 percentage, 58 rupees. So he is left with 42 rupees, out of which 50% he is saving. So out of 42, 50%. So you know that 25% is equal to 1 by 4, right? 50% is equal to 2, 25% is equal to 3 by 4, 20% is equal to 5. It's always good to remember these fractions that you can do your calculations fast. So here 50% of 42 is 21, which is half of 42. So 21 he is saving. 21% of his salary he is saving. Now his salary is 18,400. So 21% is saving. So now we have to find 21% of 18,400. Right? This is 184 into 21. So unit will be 24. You see that there is only one option with 4 in unit digit. That must be your answer. You do this multiplication, you will get 3. That's your answer, option A, right? I don't have to even do that because there is only one option with 4 in unit digit. I know that in this multiplication the unit digit would be 4. Okay, so pretty simple question again, right? Just to cover all this concept on how to convert percentage into fractions and how to use that in solving the problem, I have chosen this. Hope you understood it. Let us go to the next question. If 20% of A is equal to B, then B percent of 20 is the same as. Okay, now see this 20% of A. So that is 20 divided by 100 is A by 5. Okay, then B percent of 20 is B divided by 100 into 20 is B percent of 20 is same as. So let us do this. So this is basically B divided by 5 is what, right? And we have to find the answer in terms of A. Okay, so we know that B is equal to A by 5. So B divided by 5 is equal to B divided by, sorry, A divided by 5 into 5 is A divided by 25. We have to find A divided by 25 is how much percentage of. So we know that if you divide by 25, it is 4%. So basically, you can express this as A into 4 divided by 100, which is 25, is 4%. Or if this doesn't strike to you, you have already arrived at this equation. So A divided by 25 is X percent of A, which is X divided by 100 is equal to A divided by 25. So we have to find the value of X. X is equal to 100 to 8 is equal is 4% of A. If this doesn't strike to you, so the answer is 4% of A, option A. Go to the next one. 405 sweets were distributed equally among children in such a way that the number of sweets received by each child was 20% of the total number of children. How many sweets did each child receive? Now, one thing which I want to tell you, that when you have to take two different values and one value is some percentage of other, try to see that you avoid fractions, because fraction calculation becomes a little more difficult as compared to the straight number. So we know there are number of children and number of sweets per child. What we have been told is that each child received 20% of number of children. Right? Each child received in such a way that the number of sweets received by each child was 20% of total number of children. So whatever this number was, let us say x, this was 20% of x. Right? We know that 20% is equal to 1/5 of x. Okay. So rather than taking 1/5 of x, what I'm going to do is I will take 5x as number of children and x as number of, right? So x is 1/5 of 5x. Okay. Now number of children are 5x, number of sweets per child are x. So how many total sweets were distributed? 5x to x is equal to 5x, right? These many sweets were distributed. This value has been given as 405. So x square is equal to 581. What is x? X is the number of sweets per. That's what has been asked. How many sweets did each child receive? 9 sweets. Option accidental, but yeah, that's what the answer is. I mean, you can solve this by fraction also. For example, you can always take, then you multiply this, you get 155x square. Square is equal to 400, and now you need to find a square root of this number. Okay, and that's where things become complicated. You will find the square root of this number, and that would be equal to 45. But this will just becomes more complex. Just avoid fractions. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so understand this question. Fresh fruit contains 68% of water and dry fruit contains 20% water. How much dry fruit can be obtained from 100 kg of fresh fruit? This is fresh fruit and this is dry fruit. Okay, is in fresh fruit it says that there is 60%, 68% of water and 32% of fruit pulp. Let us say pulp. Right? In dry fruit, what would happen is that some water is gone, but the pulp quantity is same. Right? If one fruit you take fresh, it will have 68% of water and 32% pulp. In dry fruit, pulp quantity would be same, but the water would be 20% and this will be 80%. Okay, pulp will be 80%, water will be 20%. But basically, these are same, right? In the same quantity of fruit, 80% in the dry fruit will be same as 32% in the fresh fruit, because the pulp quantity is not changing. It is only the water quantity which is deciding whether it is a dry fruit or a fresh fruit. Okay, now the question is, how much dry fruit can be obtained from 100 kg of fresh fruit? So in 100 kg of fresh fruit, okay, you will have 68% water, that is 68 kilo of water and 32 kilo of pulp. Now 32 kilo of pulp, in dry fruit also it would be 32 kilos of pulp, but it would be 80% of the dry fruit, right? So this would be equal to 80% of dry fruit weight. So if 80% is equal to 32, then 100% is equal to how much? The question, that would be, right? So this is 25 kilos. Your answer, option C. Okay, I hope you are getting this, right? The main important thing to understand is this pulp quantity will be same. It is only the water quantity which is varying. And in 100 kg of fresh fruit, whatever pulp you are getting, which is 32 kg, the same amount of pulp would be there in the dry fruit, but in dry fruit that would be 80% of the dry fruit's weight. right? So 80% is equal to 32 kg. So 100% is equal to 40 kg. That's the answer. So you will be able to get 40 kilos, right, of dry fruit out of 100 kg of fresh fruit. And that's the question which has been asked. So that's your answer, option C. Let us go to the next one. A student multiplied a number by 3 by 5 instead of 5 by 3. What is the percentage error in the calculation? Okay. Now let us see, the number was x. Actually you don't have to take, because you are finally going to eliminate this x. Okay, if you can understand this, because you are subtracting um, wrong value and the correct value, you are finding the difference, then taking the base of the correct value and then comparing that with 100 to find the percentage. So finally this multiplication doesn't matter, you can do 5 by 3 minus 3 by 5 also, but let us keep it simple. So let us see, the number was x. The student multiplied this number by 3 by 5, so he made it 3x by 5, whereas, so this is wrong, and the right was 5x by 3, right? He should have done this, right? So what is the error? Error is equal to 5x by 3 minus 3x by 5. Okay, this error is on the base of 5x by 3, because 5x by 3 is the right answer. Okay, so this is the error on this correct value. So what is the percentage of this? Okay, so let me do this. So error is 25x minus 3x is 16x. 16x divided by 15. So my error is 16x divided by 15, right? Now I do the cross multiplication and take this at the bottom 5, right? Which is it's 16x by 15 into 100 into 3 by 5x. Now I will just solve this. This is 5. This is 75. 15 into 5 is 75. And I'm going to make it 4 by 3. By 3. 3 cancel. 64x. Sorry, x is also getting cancelled, so it is 60. So the percentage is 64% is the error. That's option. So you need to, again, right, this calculation is not very difficult, but understanding this error is on the base of correct value, and then how to find that percentage of that is something which is very important. Okay, error is always as compared to the correct answer, is never as compared to the wrong answer. So on the base of 5x by 3 you have this error 16x by 15. So what is the percentage? You need to multiply it by 100 by finding it on the base of 5x by 3, and that's your answer, option. Let us go to the next question. Okay, this is a good interesting question. A salesman gets a commission on total sales at 9%. If the sale exceeds rupees 10,000, he gets an additional commission as a bonus of 3% on the excess of sales over 10,000. If he gets a total commission of 1380, then the bonus he received is. So understand what is happening here. A sales guy is selling something. As long as he sells 10,000 rupees material, worth material, he gets 9% commission. Okay. Above that, whatever he is selling, say, X amount, on this also he gets 9%, because he gets total sales ka 9% anyway. So on this he is getting 9%, plus on if the sale exceeds 10,000, he gets an additional commission of 3% also on the excess of sales over 10,000. So on this excess sales, which is above 10,000, he get this 9% plus this additional 3%. Okay. Now we have been told that his total commission was 1380. Then what is his bonus? So we have to find the amount related to this 3%. What we have been given? We have been given that the total commission of 1380. Now understand, up to 10,000 he is getting only 9%. After that he is getting 12%. Okay. So 10 up to 10,000 he will get 9% of 10,000, that is 900 rupees as commission. Okay. How much commission is left? 1380 minus 900, that is 480 rupees. Okay. This 480 rupees is nothing but this original sales commission plus additional bonus. So he is basically getting this 12% on this value, which is equal to 480. Okay. We have been asked the bonus he received. So bonus is 3% out of this. So this is 1/4 of 12%. So this is 1/4 of your answer. So understand what the problem is saying and divide the numbers appropriate. Okay. Calculation wise, this is a very simple question, but you need to understand how the things are getting broken up. Okay. You need to find the bonus, which is 3%. First, 9% gone, 900 rupees gone, 480 left, right? This 480 is basically original 9% commission plus 3%. That is, whatever this X amount was beyond 10,000 rupees sales, on which he got 480 rupees, which is 12% of this. If the 12% is 480, then 3% is 120. That is the bonus. And rest 360 rupees is original commission. Okay. So answer is 120. Let's go to the next question. And I think this is the last question. I have taken this question for introducing you to the concept of successive percentage. Okay. Now let me first read the question. The population of a town was 1,60,000 3 years ago. If it increased by 3%, 2.5% and 5% respectively in the last 3 years, then the present population is. Right? Now, there are two ways to solve this problem. One with basic calculation, another is by using the formula. Calculation wise, this is little complex, but pay attention. You know that if it is 100 and I increase it by 20%, it becomes 120. Right? Now this is increase of 20%. Now from here to here, to get this, I have to multiply it by 1.2. Right? So if it is 20%, I have to multiply it by 1.2. If it is 50%, I have to multiply it by 1.5. Okay. Remember this. If I have to reduce it by 20%, I have to multiply by 0.8. Okay. Because if 100 is reduced by 20%, it will become 80. Right. So any value, if I have to reduce by 20%, then I have to multiply that value by 0. Right? Because when I multiply 100 into 0.8, I get 80. So one way to solve this problem is using this formula or using this method. Let me erase this. And now my original population was 1,60,000. Increased by 3%. So I'm going to multiply by 1.03. Explained. Then it increased by 2.5%. So and then 5%, that is 1 point. This will give me the final population. Now this calculation is little lengthy, but if you do this, this would be coming to 1 to get 6D. Okay, but this will be a very lengthy calculation. But I want to introduce you to the concept of successive percent. So if something is increased by A%, then B%, okay, then the net increase is A plus B plus 100. Okay, net percentage increase. No, this is not the final value. This is the total percentage increase. For example, if you increase something by 10%, then 20%. Okay, so this will be 10 plus 20 plus 10 into 20 by 100 is equal to 30 plus 1st you increase something by 10% and then by 20%, your overall increase will be 32. This is what this formula is, right? Now we can apply this formula 2 times to solve this problem. That first, we have to do 3 and 2.5, and then whatever number comes, we have to do that number and 5. Again, using the same formula to find this. So let me do that for you. Okay, so here my first is 3% plus 2.5% plus 3 into 2.5 is 7.5 divided by 100. This is 5.5 plus 0. Is equal to 5.5. Okay, so using that formula, which is A plus B plus, right, for first two successive increases, I get a net change of 5.575%. Now with this and 5%, I have to find the final total net change. So again I apply the same formula, which is 5.575 plus 5 into 5.57 is by 20. Take 2, 15, 157, 8, 17, 175. This is 20. 2 the 40, 15, 157. Then 27 the 140. 140 is 17, 175. 80. 8, 160. 60, 15. 15 is 150. And then 10. So this is 10.570. This is basically 10.85375%. This will be my net increase percentage. Okay, so this calculation is little complex. Okay, so either way you do for this particular problem, the calculation is little. Now I have to increase 1,60,000 by this much percentage. Okay, but when I see that this number is very close to 11 and it is greater than 10, right, and less than 11 but very close to 11. So if I take 10% of 160k, right, that is 16,000. So I get 176,000 as 10% increase. My answer is certainly going to be greater than 167k. So and this on. And if I increase it by 11%, then I have to add another 1% of this, that is 1600 to this. 177, right? This is equal to 11%. So my answer is going to be certainly less than 6. So my option this is also gone. And I know that this number is very close to 11 because 10.85. So my answer is going to be very close to 1776. My answer option D. Okay, but this is more of a calculation discussion, but most important thing is how to calculate successive net change in percentage. The formula is a percent plus b percent plus a into b divided by 100. To do this, and whatever the percentage comes, that will be your net increase in the percentage. Okay. So that's what I wanted to introduce. We will solve some more problems. There is a formula for three successive percentages also, but why to go there, right? You can simply use it twice, because CSAT, how many formulas will you remember? So you remember only one and then apply it twice, right? So most important thing is to understand the concept, solve various types of problems, apply those concepts while solving the problem so that they become very clear to you, and that way you'll be able to solve problems related to that topic. So focus on the concept is the mantra. Okay, so thanks for watching. I will come back with the next video on percentages next week, where I will take a few more practice questions, and then depending on what is the variety that we cover, we can go for PYQs, or maybe we can do one more video. So please keep watching. We are also bringing very good geography videos for you. So subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so, and download our app, because we are going to launch a very affordable CSAT course. The name of our app is Brainita. Okay, so thanks for watching this, and I will come back again next week. Thank you.